Guys, we are out here in our 1999 Toyota 4Runner project, affectionately named Dirt Seeker. This is a 99 4Runner. I believe it's a limited, it might be an SR5. I think it's an SR5. Anyways, this is owned by my buddy Tyler. He is currently deployed, and so I'm helping him out get this thing ready for when he gets back. Some of the things we've already done on this, we built him a kind of low profile, I don't know, Baja style bumper for this thing. Something where he could mount lights in the meantime, and then built the rear bumper for this. This bumper was originally on my 4Runner over there, and it just so happened to work out where this bumper was going to be perfect for what he wants to do. Some of the other stuff that he's done, he put in this really cool rack. It's like a Molle rack for putting your accessories on. Like, he's got some stuff over here, did a fire extinguisher mount in it, he's got ram mount up here, and then he's got the scan gauge and some aux beam switches. Pretty stock engine bay. We did get rid of that piece of the intake that's kind of just useless, and then we have the Snowbound washer reservoir kit. I don't remember if his old washer reservoir was broken or what, but going to 35s, you definitely have to have that. And speaking of 35s, that is exactly what we are planning on putting on this thing. These big old BFG 35-inch all-terrains on method bead grips. He went all out on this. It's going to be super awesome. Here's a bunch of the parts for it. So a little bit of a breakdown of what we have. These are the rear links. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll put it up here who makes the links. There's some tubing for bumper stuff. There's a DIY bumper in here, which I'll show you guys, that will weld out and stuff. Revolution gear. We're re-gearing this pickup, or 4Runner I should say. We're re-gearing this thing. There's also a locker down here, this Eaton box. It's kind of like a limited slip, helical limited slip. So that's going to be really neat too. And then down in here is a couple of King boxes. This thing is going to be getting King shocks all the way around, which is going to be pretty awesome. First things first. Oh, I almost forgot. We also did Solo Motorsports fabricated lower control arms. We need to get a baseline of this, a baseline of how this thing does, so that way when we take it out later, when it's all done, we have something to compare it to. All right, we're out here in Klein Butte OHV, just outside of Redmond, Oregon, in between Sisters and Redmond. This is a great place, kind of a proving grounds for a lot of things. If you've got a rock crawler or a stock 4Runner, this place is great. It's got a little bit of everything for anybody. Matter of fact, even if you have dirt bikes or ATVs, you come out here and have a good time. We are going to be putting this to its initial tests to see what its capabilities are bone stock before we do anything. So test number one, let's go hit some of these rocks over here and see what it can do. Now we got to be careful. We don't have any rock sliders. It's really low to the ground. Even parking here, we're getting pretty close to the underside. We will get a good idea of what we can do, a baseline. Let's do it. Get off these rocks real quick. we are heading up over there between these trees. It's kind of the fun part out here is got some rocks, got some trees, got some dirt trails. Our first obstacle is right here. Now this is kind of considered maybe like the bunny slopes, kind of beginner. The stuff we were parked on, I guess you could say is beginner, but I think that's a little too easy. I think this provides a little bit more of a challenge right out of the gate. See how it does. I know it's always hard to tell on camera, everything looks flat, but I promise you this is a bit of a challenge for stock-ish vehicles. Alright, we'll have to back up, hit it with just a little bit of momentum. There it is. Alright, now you can see our rear tire. Our rear tire is in that hole. And now spinning. This one's for all the beans. Look at that. Made it right up. Had to work out a little bit. That's all right. That's what stock vehicles do. Circle around here. We'll get some footage. Bottom. I don't know if we'll make that one. That one's pretty aggressive. You can't really tell from here. Got some guys on dirt bikes ripping around. It's pretty awesome. There's a gravel pit right over here. Everybody likes to rip up. There they are right there. Man, this looks so flat in video, but I promise you it's not. There's a gravel pile over here, a pretty big one. It probably doesn't look that big in camera, but it is pretty big. Let's see how this thing does. Let's see how it conquers this gravel pile. Go up one of the steeper sides just for fun, huh?
I get a more power, baby. A more power, baby. Testify. A more power.
They handled all that pretty well, I'd say, for a stock vehicle on stock size tires. I mean, it struggles as much as you think a stock vehicle would struggle, but all in all, I mean, most people will probably never even attempt stuff like that. There's one more spot we're gonna go to so you can really get an idea of some of the stuff that's out here. I mean, some of the stuff out here is just crazy, absolutely crazy. This is one of the many obstacles like it out here, and there are far bigger rock faces than this. But I just wanted to show you guys some of the stuff that's out here that I think is really cool. This is a ledge that people rock crawl up. I'll stand next to it. I'm 6'1". This ledge is far taller than me. I've rock crawled up this before. Unfortunately, I don't think that guy is gonna make it up this. There's some smaller stuff over here I probably do, but we don't have a skid plate underneath that radiator right now. So I don't really wanna like push my luck on stuff like this. That's just gonna go like right into the radiator. I still gotta drive home. But this stuff, man, this stuff is just, it's so awesome. If you're into like rock crawling or overlanding, I mean, there's stuff over here you could do. We'll come back and do this when the project's on 35s. But there's a little bit for everybody out here. Now this stretch of road can get pretty aggressive with whoops and stuff. Because a lot of the dirt bikes and ATVs and side-by-sides come down this, so it can get pretty bumpy. This stock suspension's not so great for that type of stuff. That is for sure. And I'm only going like 15, maybe 20 miles an hour. If you don't see these things coming up, if you're not paying attention, they can get pretty wild. You can get pretty buck wild on this road. There's a few more coming up here. Ooh, gotta slow down big time for this. Ooh, I can say with confidence that stock suspension on a road like this is not ideal. It is durability testing every bump stop that this vehicle has. There's a bunch of these whoops out here for like dirt bikes and ATVs and stuff. Let's drive through them just for fun. These might be really bad, or they might be not so bad. We'll see. Okay, yeah. The front end and rear end are definitely bottoming out a little bit. All in all, not too bad for stock, especially considering the vehicle's a 99 and probably has a lot of original parts. So let's talk about the road manners a little bit. Well, as you would expect, it drives nearly like a stock vehicle. The tires are bald, so they're noisy. The suspension is okay. It's a little wishy-washy. And there's I don't know if you can hear that, noise coming from the rear end. My My suspicion is it's either a pinion bearing, or maybe it's the backlash in the gears. Maybe the back side of the gears, the coast side of the gears, is got a little extra play in it. Every time I let off the gas, it whines. Pretty bad. Luckily though, this thing is getting gears, so all of that's going to be fixed. But you know, road manners are good. I don't foresee that changing. Actually, I foresee that getting better as we put new parts on this thing. I mean, it is going to be lifted. It's somewhere between 2 and 3 inches for the 35s. I'm going to try to lift it as little as possible. That way we can keep the road manners. Keep the road manners as good as we can. I foresee the 35s driving pretty well. I mean, I've had a lot of luck with the KO2s being pretty decent tires for on-road stuff. All right, we're back. So, what are the first things we're gonna do to this? Well, we have a whole freaking list. So, first thing on the docket, we're gonna work on the front end. That means upper control arms. We're gonna put new spindles in it, and we're gonna gusset the spindles, which are right here. Spindles are all cleaned up. Gussets are ready to be welded on. There's a bunch of parts in that box that are gonna go inside of these. Then there's a CD axle boot kit. The CD axle boots on this are either torn or almost torn, so they probably just need to be done. Realistically, in the future, it would be probably a good idea to get some stronger aftermarket CVs. But for now, we'll put those boots on there. He's got some bump stops that are going to go on the front, and these are kind of neat. They are the new trail gear bump stops. We'll see how these things these things perform. I've got Fox bump stops, and I know people that have run them before, and they're pretty decent for the price you pay for them. So we will be kind of comparing those head to head with the trail gear ones. Next thing will be those King coilovers for the front. Same King coilovers that go on every other, you know, Tacoma or 4runner of this generation. They're great. I had them in my Tacoma. That'll be a huge improvement for the ride and for the suspension on this vehicle. And then once that's done, we'll kind of transition to the rear. I do have springs for the rear already. I'm hoping that they are the right height, since this is not something that we've done before. These springs are the same springs that are on my 4runner out here, and I'm on 37s, so I know for a fact that those will clear 35s. My 37s rub. 35s shouldn't rub, or if they do, it'll be very minimal. I'm just a little worried that those might be actually too tall. So we'll see. If you are watching this and you have the Kings in the front, what springs are you running in the rear that are even height? Because I really don't want to jack up the Kings if I don't have to. I don't want to be topping out constantly with the Kings. So down in the comments and let me know what you're running if you have one of these things. We will start tearing into this list and tearing apart the front end in the next episode. One of the other things is this front bumper. It's for sale. If you are interested in this front bumper, leave a comment. We'll get in touch. I'm in Oregon, so realistically, you got to be in Oregon or at least travel here, because I'm not not traveling very far to sell this thing. I'll put it up on Marketplace and hopefully it sells relatively soon. Well, all that being said, thanks for watching. This has been the first episode on the Creepy Crawlers channel. I appreciate you watching. Consider hitting that like and subscribe. Until next time, thanks.